Hey everyone, I'm Rum and welcome to another Yap session. The current time is 1:41 a.m., so it is pretty late and it is technically day 2 of the Heresy episode. I wanted to make this video to just go over my thoughts and feelings about day 1 because I have a lot of feelings about this episode, mostly positive. Of course, I'm not very a negative person, but even then I still have some gripes with this episode looking forward. Quick disclaimer, there will be a little bit of spoilers, but I will make sure to announce that there is a spoiler upcoming, give you guys a couple seconds to skip, and then go on my merry way and talk about whatever. So this is already shaping up to be the biggest episode in the series, quite possibly one of the biggest seasons in the series as well, considering the fact that this is leading up to the next big saga for Destiny, not just the end of this little story branch. And the little bit of story that we got on day 1 obviously is setting up for what's coming next week and the week after that, since we're no longer done with the no time gate debacle. We're back to having weekly story drops, and I am all for that. I'm really excited to see this and digest the story piece by piece rather than just all at once and then do nothing for the next couple weeks. Getting back on track though, I initially thought that Bungie was going to do something very different with the Dreadnought, not just give us back what we had in Destiny 1. And mind you, I'm actually all for this. I was very surprised to see that all the little tricks to get around and navigate the Dreadnought better was still in the game. Relatively speaking, this is a very much more smaller, condensed version of the Dreadnought. Regardless of that, however, I do feel like this is a very much true to spirit or true to heart or whatever you want to call it to Destiny 2 from just Destiny 1. It's more than just the King's Fall raid. It's more than just a couple of like little patrol zones. There is new things happening. We do experience all of these different parts of the Dreadnought. To be honest, it is the most memorable parts of the Dreadnought with a little bit of new spice, I guess. I can't really put that into a better word. And the Nether activity is actually super fun. I didn't think there was going to be this many like secret bosses around. If you guys watched my previous video, which you totally should, by the way, one of the things I asked for was to patrol the zones that we already have, but mostly just to do more with the space that we're given. I wanted to see more secret bosses, more mini bosses. I wanted to do more things in the area rather than just join here for a quest, get the quest done, and never come back. There's a lot of storytelling in your environment, regardless of if it's a book, if it's a movie, if it's a game. So for them to have so many secret bosses around and further delve deep into the overall rot, I guess is the word I can use to describe it, around the Dreadnought. We do know that the Dreadnought is a piece of a worm god that is now somehow coming back to life, yet also dying at a similar rate. It's intriguing. The whole thing is really cool. I've probably fought around 4 or 5 secret bosses around the Nether, not even including like the 3 big ones that you have to fight in order to get through the Nether, or probably 4 or 5. And the lack of a timer is also really incentivizes the player to go and explore the Dreadnought. I think there's a couple of weapon chests that are scattered around if you give up some, I think, Essence of Desire or something. And I hear a lot of people online in my clan, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, Blue Sky even, because Destiny just got their own Blue Sky account. I hear a lot of people complaining that the Nether is very difficult to live through. And I really don't want to sound like an elitist here, but it's really not too difficult to get through if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and you're just running through the wall once, again, and again, you're going to see the same problems. You're going to see the same outcome. You're going to see the same issues. I feel like as I've been playing Destiny for a long time, I know how to manage my health. I've always seen my health as a resource, my life as just another way to play the game. But at the same time, I understand that there's a lot of new players that are coming into the story that are seeing this very, very big moment. They see a very difficult yet forced challenge to get through the story. And a lot of people are just not overcoming the challenge. A lot of people already have that such a very large gap in the friction and they just can't get through it, and they feel like I can never defeat this boss. I think, honestly, again, I don't want to sound elitist, I think it's just the perspective that Destiny is so easy because I've been playing the same way over and over and over again. Why do I have to change it now? And that's where I think Bungie did a great job. We're forced to play differently. Something that players have been begging for this whole time, but they always seen it as a way to make it just sunsetting. Now you have to play the game in a different way, in a very challenging way, and now you can't just run through the wall over and over and over again. But I do have to get to my gripes. I'm talking about the Nether, and of course, I'm going to have some issues with it. My major issue, besides the whole can't really get into the servers thing, is the fact that the reward system was not very well explained. If you don't know how it works, which there's a chance you don't, you have to get a Tome of Want at level 3, so you have to run another probably around 1, 2, maybe 3 times. Obtain the Tome of Want. After obtaining the Tome of Want, you need to do a ritual. To do a ritual, you have to unlock the tomes. To unlock the tomes, you have to run through the Nether. You probably already have one. I'm pretty sure it gives you one for free. I had one ready, but I never procced it. How do you proc it? You have to go through each set and then activate it, because it's automatically deactivated and it won't save if you don't proc the final ritual. It doesn't say that anywhere. Not only does it not say that anywhere, but the material that you're grabbing around the Nether, around the Dreadnought, is, I have to look it up again because the name is super confusing to me. Metastasides Essentia. Yeah, if only you guys knew how many attempts it took me to say that word, it's crazy. I'm gonna just call it the Essentia, honestly. The Essentia you pick up around the Dreadnought and around the Nether is, you're supposed to use it to unlock more scriptures, to unlock more different kinds of loot, through the Tome of Want, of course. But there's never a part in the guide that shows you that. It's not even marked on the map where you have to turn that into. And my problem with that is the fact that if a new player does not know what they're getting from this material, they lose the incentive to ever pick it up. And I already seen this coming originally, but the story, the way that it's handled, I think is pretty good. I don't like going around and talking to NPC, but unfortunately, when you had the story being told to you while you're in orbit or on the way to somewhere, it's pretty hard to know what is going on. And slight fault to Bungie, but no fault to the voice actors. The lack of voice acting is definitely very problematic. And that's causing a lot of friction with the story too, because while you're in orbit, somewhere you're already not used to getting story, or while you're loading into a match or into a world, you're not used to getting story there either. You're getting fed these subtitles that explain what Sloan is saying. And unfortunately, Bungie did originally say that they were going to make the subtitles more obvious. They had them on by default for some people that didn't already have them on. And they said they were going to add a couple of new settings to explain who is saying what, because in the future, there's going to be another character that has no voice lines. Who that character is going to be, I have no idea. I have a hunch that it's probably going to be Xivu Arath, but that's just a hunch. It's just speculation, no spoilers. So aside from the Nether, what did we get? Really, we didn't get anything else. We did get a look at his apartment, and that is where we're going to be interacting with most of the seasonal content. Again, this is the first day, the first week, so we're not going to know what is added, but it looks like we're going to be decorating his apartment for the next couple weeks. I see the timer is already near the 8-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys. The rest of this video is going to be full of heavy spoilers, so skip to this time or just click off the video now. I can't talk more about the story without talking about Sloan and the unfortunate fact of her not having any voice lines. Sloan, throughout the Nether and throughout our time in the Dreaming City, we know that she is teaching our Guardian how to use the taken powers that she's been afflicted by. Why are we doing this? Is because obviously Eris is technically dead. I say technically because, well, she's not. It was a pleasant surprise for me to see that Eris still has access to a throne world, because she held the mantle of the Hive God of Vengeance. Even though she did relinquish her powers, it seems like she still has that connection to a throne world. And there is dramatic irony in the fact that we as a player know that, our Guardian does not know, Drifter does not know, and Sloan does not know either. I've seen online in spoiler forums that a lot of people said that this scene after the fact really kind of diminishes that connection from Drifter, seeing him at his very, very much lowest. But I feel like I disagree, because we still do see how Drifter would react to losing Eris. This is the same man that told Sloan, you just have to let go of all your past grievances. There's no way you can get them back. He was always very disconnected from the Vanguard. And quite honestly, he always seemed like he was disconnected from humanity itself. That's juxtaposed with his connection to Eris, someone who is rehumanizing him, despite the fact that she does not appear human. She's been cursed by the Hive. I've always seen their relationship as something very cute, something very romanticized, and there's a lot of tension between them always. But we finally see their very big obstacle in their relationship. While Saint and Osiris seem to have a problem every other season, Drifter and Eris always seem to be in good spirits. And I have to mention just how powerful the voice acting was from Drifter. My favorite moments of him are when he's showing his weakness, unlike Zavala or Saladin, who I feel like I root for more when they're giving their speeches of power and entitlement and will. Drifter to me has never felt like a leader character. He's always felt like an equal, a friend, someone I can rely on. So seeing him break down when grieving Eris, it really does resonate with the player that he truly thinks that there is no coming back for her. And speaking of Eris, I think it's about time we start discussing her. We've known for a long time that Eris has been a very, very high individual in terms of the Hive hierarchy, but her having her own throne world is quite a surprise, honestly. So in terms of sword logic, she has to die in her own throne world or be severed from her own throne world in order to fully die. But the reason why we thought she was actually dead and that she didn't have a Hive throne world is fully due to the fact that she relinquished her position as the Hive god of vengeance. Even Eris herself, at least in the moments that we've seen, seemed to believe that she was fully dead, that she was completely surprised that she had her own throne world. She was so surprised, she even went ahead and unveiled her Hive side, her 3 eyes that she always has covered up. And while I don't think we could see more of her in the Act 1, we already have confirmed that Act 2 is only going to be 3 weeks long. So I believe we're going to see Eris in week 1 of Act 2, maybe the last week of Act 1. Touch and go, you have a throne world, how can we use this to our power? And then completely Act 3, all hell breaks loose, I can only assume. I'm really looking forward into how we delve into Eris's power, not just as a Hive person, but also as in what can she do to shake up the Pantheon. This is what this whole episode's about, no, just shaking up the Hive Pantheon. And obviously, Sloane and Eris are going to be 2 major parts into that. This is more speculation from me, but the fact that we have Drifter, Sloane, and Eris back into one season all at once again, just like Season of the Deep, and the fact that we know that the Hive Pantheon is always separated into 3 groups. I personally think that it's going to be the 3 new gods will be Drifter, Sloane, and Eris. And instead of our Guardian being the navigator for the Dreadnought, I fully think it's going to be Sloane taking over for that. What will they be the gods of? I have no idea, but I do think that that's going to be the shakeup. Whatever it is, I will be there, trust me. Through all the problems I've had with Destiny, there's never been one that forced me to leave, rather than just take a full-on break. I keep coming back because the gameplay is just so unique, and I feel like this season is going to be even more just unique stuff to do, more things to learn, more things to try, everything. I'm just super excited for this new episode and for the future of Destiny. Going beyond the story, and this is where I'll end the spoiler section, we could talk about the weapons. The Weapon and Sandbox team for sure cooked up some special weapons this season, and I love every single one of them so far. With very few exceptions, each of the weapons feel unique in their own way, especially since most of them are these new or very much fresh archetypes. There's a couple bugs going around with the Nether and also with the fact that the sword is unable to be atoned. I don't know why, but I'd imagine it's probably because of the fact that it's the only weapon that you can get from completing the seasonal quests. Aside from that though, all of them, including the sword, have these very unique perk combinations, especially with the new perk that they just added, Elemental Honing, that's what it's called. All of the Vogue weapons seem pretty well made as well. None of them feel forgotten. They all feel like you could have some niche or at least some sort of reason to use them. So if you're sitting down and you're wondering, oh, what should I farm? I recommend farming at least one of those weapons. Especially since now these new heretical arsenal weapons also come with an adept version that is actually shiny. So that's always something good to look out for. Some standout ones are definitely the Strand Assault Rifle Adamantite, which is just a strictly better version of No Hesitation in all honesty. And support framed assault rifles, even though there's only 2 of them currently in the game, they're already a staple in some of the metas. Next up, I want to talk about is the Arc GL, the area denial called Psychopomp, which area GLs are already like a nutty weapon type. So pairing this one with Full Court and the new arc perk called Rolling Storm, it's just all around a great weapon to just pick up in case you want to use like an ad clearing machine. And maybe I'm just forcing this one to be added, but the last one I'll talk about is Eyes Unveiled. It's the heavy linear fusion rifle, and it's got a nice perk combo here with triple tap plus Withering Gaze, which I feel like is a very slept on perk right now. Pair Overflow with Particle Reconstruction, and I'd imagine you can already picture the amount of damage that you're going to be able to do. But that's all I have for you guys today. I know that this one was a pretty long video. I can see on the timer about 15 minutes. So I'll wrap it up right now, and I'll wrap it up quick. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys think about the new episode and the new season. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Check me out on Straw Page. I have a new website. And with all that being said, my name is Rum, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.